Before 1914, Europe was not at peace. On the surface, cities were growing, technology was advancing, and empires looked strong. But underneath, Europe was tense. Nations did not trust each other. Old rivalries were never resolved. And many leaders believed that war was not only inevitable, but necessary. The great powers of Europe were connected by alliances. These alliances were meant to protect nations. In reality, they created a system where one small conflict could pull an entire continent into war. By 1914, Europe was divided into two major sides. On one side were Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. On the other were France, Russia, and Britain. Each country believed that if war came, it would be short. Few imagined what was truly coming. Alliances were supposed to prevent war. But instead, they made war more likely. If one country was attacked, others were obligated to respond. This meant that political decisions were no longer slow. They were automatic. Militaries also played a role. Generals across Europe believed that speed was everything. Mobilization plans were detailed and rigid. Once an army began to mobilize, stopping it was almost impossible. Diplomacy had very little time to work. Europe had built a machine designed for war. All it needed was a spark. That spark came on June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, heir to the Austro-Hungarian Empire, was visiting Sarajevo. He was assassinated by a young nationalist. On its own, this was not enough to start a world war. But because of alliances, fear, and pride, the response was severe. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia. Russia supported Serbia. Germany supported Austria-Hungary. France supported Russia. Britain was pulled in through treaty obligations. Within weeks, Europe was at war. No one truly stopped to ask if it could be avoided. Many soldiers marched to war believing it would be over by Christmas. Newspapers celebrated. Crowds cheered. War was seen as a test of honor and strength. Few understood modern warfare. Machine guns, artillery, and industrial killing would change everything. Instead of glory, there would be trenches. Instead of movement, there would be stagnation. And instead of a short conflict, there would be 4 years of suffering. World War I did not start because people wanted millions to die. It started because systems failed. Fear replaced reason. And once the war began, no one knew how to stop it. World War I was not inevitable. But it became unstoppable. The war reshaped borders, destroyed empires, and changed how humanity viewed conflict. And for the men in the trenches, the reasons no longer mattered. What mattered was survival. This was the beginning of the modern world. And the beginning of a silence that still echoes through history.